abusuafo mechiacha munyina ema munyina kwaba eba COVTV Ghana so na meka mo se ene ye ba be din komo bi a eho hia oh my Ghana ene eye Ghana fo nyina eye the 1992 constitution eye buka ye de bo eye oh my Ghana ho ban amenka ne sa buku no eno ena ade bia ekoso oh my mu emu ne free yen hihye yi toto ye bibia sa buku no constitution no emu ne free eno ana Ghana for over the years ye di hu komo akasa ho a se enema bi wo eye sa constitution ma ewo se yetimi amend no ye yense science kakra ewom na me hu se aban akọ aban aba omampanyin Atamos awonya ne ba bi ko ehya ase Mahama kro yai esan hya ase na adankwa kufu adon so esan eye bi ni nyina mu no ankosi aga ene omampanyin John Dramani Mahama enso aba wasa te committee fufuro omonhwe no mo amende eye sa constitution no ana eye ye constitution 1992 constitution no because ewiase ekonanim enti no e was say embra ye de tu anamo no nso ye hwe se bibie wo ma etosine ani asesa no kama in a more professional way yentie abra also in eye constitution review committee no yen hwe nsem de tu dwa ewia ebedi hu nkomo nso wa adwenkyire bia na obetimi ede aba na yenyina ya adwendwen ho oman Ghana eno ane oman ayewo tini ese hase Ghana first enti no mesremo yenyemre na yentie eye sa eye nkomoyi na yensan emra sisia
for the discharge of my official duties or as may be specially permitted by law. So help me God. Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. You may please resume your seat. Another round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. I'd now like to welcome the Attorney General and Minister of Justice, the Honorable Dominic Ayine, to give us some remarks. Please welcome him.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Ghana, Your Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, the Honorable Chief of Staff, National Chairman of the National Democratic Congress, Legal Counsel to the President and my former boss, Ministers of State present, Members of Parliament, Chairman and members of the Constitution Review Committee, my fellow countrymen and women, good evening. It is my pleasure and honor to welcome you all to the inauguration of the Constitution Review Committee. As the name of the committee suggests, its core duty is to review the Constitution of the Republic. To review something means to take a second look at that thing. That may seem like a simple task for the committee, but it than meets the eye. Reviewing the Constitution means more than simply taking a second look at the text of the Constitution. For instance, to cite His Excellency's favorite example, Article 71 of the Constitution, and to take account of how the letter and spirit of the Constitution has been put to use in the last 3 decades. That includes reviewing the statutes, regulations, judicial decisions, and public policies that have been designed to give effect or to enable effect to be given to the provisions of the Constitution. My fellow countrymen and women, to paraphrase an American jurist, Justice Oliver Wendell Holmes, the life of the law has never been logic, but experience. Our collective experience over the last 32 years has taught us that certain aspects of the Constitution are not welfare enhancing, and those we must refashion to suit our purposes. The question, however, is, will we get it right this time? That is a question that none of us in this room can answer with mathematical certainty. The good thing is that we have the benefit of the mistakes we've made in the past in our attempts to put the Constitution to use to guide us in the current pursuit. But much as we must take account of the collective experience as a people, we cannot unravel the internal logic of the Constitution as a whole. Mr. President, sometimes, and I really mean this, sometimes I feel like Cassius in Shakespeare's Julius Caesar, when he observes that the fault, dear Brutus, is not in our stars, but in ourselves, that we are weaklings. At such times, I feel that the fault is not with the Constitution, but with us, because we have not had the strong will to do what it takes to make the Constitution work to enhance public welfare. And why do I say this? To answer this question, Mr. President, I want to provide a little bit of context by quoting extensively from the dictum of SOA CJ in Tufo and Attorney General. In that case, the learned Chief Justice said as follows, quote, "A written constitution such as ours is not an ordinary act of parliament. It embodies the will of the people. It also mirrors their history. Account therefore needs to be taken of it as a landmark in the people's search for progress. It contains within it their aspirations and their hopes for a better and fuller life. The Constitution has its letter of the law. Equally, the Constitution has its spirit. It is the fountainhead of the authority which each of the three arms of government possesses and exercises. It is a source of strength. It is a source of power. The executive, the legislature, and the judiciary are created by the Constitution. Their authority is derived from the Constitution. Their sustenance is derived from the Constitution. Its methods of alteration, and this is very important for the committee, its methods of alteration are specified. In our peculiar circumstances, these methods require the involvement of the whole body politic. Its language, therefore, must be considered as if it were a living organism capable of growth and development, as the body of Ghana itself is capable of growth and development. End of quote. Our collective search for progress, Mr. President and my fellow countrymen and women, is a continuous process that requires debate, deliberation, and action. It requires a thoughtful application of the letter and spirit of the Constitution to all aspects of our national life. And that, in turn, requires a tenacious effort to breathe light into the Constitution as a living organism through legislative and policy measures that conform to its letter and spirit. As a country, we have been, I must say honestly, to a large extent, derelict in our duty in this respect. To give but one example, Mr. President, the Constitution guarantees the property rights of spouses in Article 22, Clause 1, and provides as follows. In Article 22, Clause 2, Parliament shall, as soon as practicable, after the coming into force of this Constitution, enact legislation regulating the property rights of spouses. It has been 32 years since the coming into force of the Constitution, and we are yet to pass legislation on the property rights of spouses. The nearest we came to fulfilling this obligation was under Mr. President's first term of office, when my boss, the Honorable Marietta Biru, tabled a motion in Parliament in 2016 to regulate the property rights of spouses. However, the bill was shot down due to a single provision relating to cohabitation. The Women's Caucus in Parliament at the time strongly opposed that provision, and they were louder than the voices of all the men put together. There were 20 women, and during the consideration stage, when I even proposed to take out the cohabitation clause, which basically provided that if a man and a woman, it didn't matter whether it was a married man or an unmarried man or a married man, stayed together for 5 years, and presented themselves to the country to their neighbors as husband and wife, the woman was entitled to inherit, the man's property. Now, the women took this to be an advantage to side chicks, and they shut it down, even though there were just 20 of them. Mr. Chairman and members of the Constitution Review Committee, the President and I have invested a lot of hope in your capabilities, experience, and your commitment to the service of our nation. Mr. President was very specific that he wanted a committee consisting of our compatriots who not only represented our country, but who will inspire confidence in our people. He was also clear in his mind that he did not want a partisan committee. So, you have been carefully selected to do this job for our country. The easiest part of the job is to follow the specified methods of alteration of the Constitution. The toughest, and I can say this without any fear of contradiction, is to commence substantive provisions to add to or replace the current provisions of the Constitution that will conform with the welfare principle of Article 1, Clause 1 of the Constitution, which provides, quote, "The sovereignty of Ghana resides in the people of Ghana, in whose name and emphasis and for whose welfare the powers of government are to be exercised in the manner and within the limits laid down in this Constitution." I will be working closely with you, Chairman and members of the committee, in the next 6 months to produce a result that is satisfactory to Mr. President and to our countrymen and women. Notwithstanding that, I wish to thank all of you on behalf of the President and the people of Ghana for accepting to do this labor of love, as the chairman described it on social media, for our country. So God bless you all. God bless our homeland, Ghana. May your work make Ghana great and strong. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Attorney General and Minister of Justice, the Honorable Dominic Ayine. It's now my honor to invite His Excellency John Dramani Mahama to give his speech. Ladies and gentlemen.
Good afternoon. Distinguished guests, members of the Constitutional Review Committee, Her Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, staff of the Presidency, my fellow Ghanaians. Today we gather for a solemn and hopeful purpose. That's the inauguration of the Constitutional Review Committee. This is not just another event on our national calendar. It is a moment of deep reflection on how far we have come as a nation and a reaffirmation of our collective commitment to shaping a future that truly reflects the aspirations of the Ghanaian people. For over 3 decades, the 1992 Constitution has been the foundation of our democracy. It has guided us through periods of growth and challenge, securing our rights and freedoms while ensuring peaceful transitions of power. It has given us stability, resilience, and hope. Those who framed this document can look back with pride, knowing that their vision has not only endured, but has become the backbone of our nation's progress. And I say kudos to all the ordinary men and women who gathered at that time to produce this document. Yet, as with all living things, our Constitution must evolve. Former Chief Justice Soa, and I'm taking from the same quote as the AG, in the landmark to 4 vs. Attorney General case, described our Constitution as a living organism, a sentiment that reminds us that the strength of any democracy lies in its ability to adapt. Over the years, we've seen gaps, ambiguities, and challenges that demand attention. The world has changed, and so too must the legal framework that governs us. The call for constitutional reform is not an admission of failure, but an acknowledgement of the progress, a recognition that our democracy must be dynamic, responsive, and ever attuned to the needs of our people. This is not the first time we have sought to refine our constitution. On this day, we honor the foresight of His Excellency John Evans Atta Mills, who in 2010 established the Constitutional Review Commission, led by Professor Albert Fiajo. The comprehensive work of that commission, along with the efforts of the Constitution Review Implementation Committee, chaired by Professor Evio Dankwa, laid a solid foundation. More recently, in 2023, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo established the Constitution Review Consultative Committee, chaired by Mrs. Clara Biri Kasati, whose findings were submitted last year in December 2024. These initiatives reflect a long-standing national desire to refine our governance structures, and today we must take the next bold step on that journey. The task before you is critical. You're not just reviewing reports and proposing amendments. You're helping to shape the future of our dear nation, Ghana. Your mandate is to carefully examine past recommendations, identify necessary changes, and create a clear roadmap that will finally lead to meaningful constitutional amendments. This process must not become another chapter in the history of unfulfilled reform efforts. It must be a turning point, a moment when Ghana moves decisively from discussion to action. I understand the weight of responsibility that comes with this task, and I assure you that your work will not be in vain. This will not be an exercise in futility. We are determined to see this process through, and I have every confidence in your ability to deliver results that will serve both the present and future generation of Ghanaians. I take great pride in the composition of this committee. You have not been chosen out of political consideration, but for your integrity, expertise, and commitment to Ghana's progress. This exercise is not about any political party. It is about Ghana. It is about ensuring that our constitution reflects the values, hopes, and dreams of every Ghanaian, regardless of their background or affiliation. Your diverse perspectives will enrich this process, and I urge you to engage widely with citizens from all walks of life in this process. This constitution must belong to all of us. It must inspire trust, it must unite us, and it must provide a framework for a more just, inclusive, and prosperous Ghana. On behalf of the people of Ghana, I express my profound gratitude to each of you for taking up this national duty, especially at such short notice. Your willingness to serve is a testament of your love for country and your dedication to Ghana's future. We stand at the threshold of a new chapter in our democratic journey. Let us approach it with wisdom, urgency, and a shared commitment to building a Ghana that will continue to stand as a beacon of democracy and hope, not only in Africa, but in the world. I thank you. May God bless our homeland, Ghana, and make our nation great and strong. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. We would now invite for his own remarks the chair of the committee, Professor H. Kwesi Prempeh. Please.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic, Your Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic, the Honorable Attorney General and Minister for Justice, Honorable members of the Presidential Staff, fellow members of the Constitutional Review Committee, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the members of the committee and on my own behalf, I would like to convey to you, Mr. President, our most profound gratitude for trusting us enough, individually and collectively, to ask us to shoulder this very awesome burden and responsibility of reviewing and proposing suitable amendments to the 1992 Constitution. Your naming and inauguration of this committee in the very early weeks of your assumption of office as president signals to us, the members of this committee, as well as to the nation, the sincerity and seriousness of your commitment to prosecute to the end the constitutional reform agenda as a critical component of your pledge to reset governance in this, our fourth republic. On our part, my members and I also pledge that we will return the trust with equal sincerity and seriousness, and will pursue our task with the sole aim of bettering the fortunes of our people, setting us on a course of progress and development, and helping you, Mr. President, to fulfill the pledge that you have made. Once again, thank you very much for the trust that you have reposed in us. We commit to work diligently within the next 6 months to produce a report that is fitting and suitable for our country and our dear nation. I thank you very much.
Yo, Abusian for we dear Medibesia video no ewa Jumedia a course so and then nansen ye abra omampani ete sa committee so mumra no mmerhe no montenase na constitution no loopholes bi ne ensesan bia ewo se yetimi ema ne boa oman Ghana no omo emetu ho anamo na omo fasa ansesan no emra mpanifo apọ mu nyina no ye mpanifo omo ne mmra ne mode ha enye obi akeke omo ne mmra ne mo ankasa chief justices ne lawyers akuku dam ne on ne metro no omo judiciary ne mo no omo adwuma no enti no omo no ana mpanifo apamomo se omo meye se adwuma we because during campaign time no tama omampani John Dramani Mahama ebo apro no odisa boshe we eka ne manifesto ne ho oye bosha na enema na okaka apart from 24-hour economy no na osen ka se oba obehwe na constitution no ya sesa no ana se ye den sachira kakra bam nya se yesesa book ni nyina da bi ma akomienu miensa bi a ewo ma ewo se omuhwe no omhwe no maye asat now de yenim ade cropotin ombetimi aye afa constitution ho nti ye twen omanka se kohwehwem na de omo feel se ewo se asesa no ya sesa no nti no ye hwe so mo de sa nkomo no nya baba out but sabre ate committee yen so betimi adi ho nkomo na ye de ya adwenkyere aba afa sa eniema wo feel se ewo constitution ni ma ana se wo sa ye book akraka no amenka na sa me friend no the big book the 1992 constitution me friend the big book because eno ni book eba amamu ana o my Ghana mu nsem de eso chen book bia because ne ekoso o my ne mu nyina no ho na nhihye ni nyina ewo nti okwati ni de emra ene obedi now my entinsi krom yen hwe town kakra ye wi ye bedi Crowflow market no ho enkomo kakra nti mi wi wi na ye beto aso de aba Crowflow market na ye di sa enkomo no enso kakra enti no ebedi ye kɔ ne nyinaa no na me de rewura mu kakra se de be ya yebetimi ehu eye ni twiem ene ne ekɔ nyinaa aha enti no mama onye worried Matthias simu ho no montem yes yebedi sa nkomo ne nyinaa na afi nso no the main issue na ye ka ho asem no so no ye de no nso de ewurawura mu kakra ase ye kɔ ye nim no now se ohwe the 1992 constitution mimi di kan mawuram na won so no betimi do adwenkyere aba abra mimi ewurawura mu yi na won so watimi de aba na ye nyinaa no ya broso kakra ye wo articles bebre e wo 1992 constitution nim na article 71 any article 144 no ye articles bi a very popular ehon so na da bia Ghana for yesu ni nyina ekowura now 1992 constitution no anadodo na ta akase the 2 million nyina dodo na akwhye omampanyin sa nti omampanyin bi obebia no 2 million nyina behye ne nsa dinti na anadodo na ekasa ana se awota etesa nsem no ni nyina ne se wohwe se de enhyehyɛ ni sitie na under the constitution no omampanyini ana se the president of the land no ono na appointment bebre ona appoint authorities bebre na wohwe a mebe mame pelist na membo bobi nkyerɛ mo na yehu hawa esi etie omampanyini ono ana appoint commissioner for human rights and administrative justice and his deputies Sraj no deputies auditor general district assemblies common fund administrator chairman deputies and other members of National Commission for Civic Education chairman and other members of the Public Services Commission tese bebre mi kasa mebobo a menwie na to aso sa na ba betiasi baby ekoi chairman and deputy chairman and other members of the Electoral Commission omampanyin kru ya o ana oyesa appointment no ono ana Inspector General of Police IGP omampanyin kru ya ana obeyi obi se omedi police for no eni mo sa security side no Director General of Prison Service ono Chief of Defense Staff ono your friend is saying service chiefs and officers, district chief executives, district chief executives, DCEs. Honum because during omampanyi dada nanada kwa kufuado. Also by sanka review kakra amendment bi o constitution no no obezi wo ha sei na obezi was appointment of district chief executives in honum intene taken to omeba honum later now ono sukuro ya ana osa appointed governor of the Bank of Ghana towards the top hierarchy ni de omampanyin ko ane appointment no intene mikaze me twanity akora with the exception of MPs ayeto mu so aba omo maka nyina omampanyine ejuomu okay mamento aso na mbobo bi government statistician chairman and members of the audit board National Development Planning Commission ono ana be appoint chairman no na oba article 144 na meka say no ne article 71 ne popular na eno ne common ase Crofota use yeta boss articles no more into no constitution ne kra no unim hwe kra no article 144 ne article 71 na say 71 no eno no articles be very ohonom no ana ema omampanyini tumi ema no appointed the Chief Justice. Chief Justice. Or no a hokrona samano to me mane appointed Supreme Court judges. Ohokrona appeal court appeal court justice. Ohokrona esamano high court justices. Ana chairman of the your friend say regional tribunals ni nyina no. Na say ba court system na article 144 no emo mampanyin ho kwan ma all these appointments. Into no prison service. Ofre police service, ofre defense staff, eko army, police, prison service, immigration service, fire service, all these service and security agencies ni nyina no ono na appointment ni nyina. Nti no se me na me appoint o se be ye adwuma ma me a den na watimi aba abeye ni amonsem e de akyere me. Ti saa no ma we nyina ne ye nioma ka ye hwe se na dodo na e ka se nka omutimi ye independent bodies bia ko mbetimi a function properly. Ombetimi a ye adwuma ma omankasa no adwuma no omoye no omuhu ne se within their various sectors no honom na e bia e beto mu so aba wo honom ne e de ayoma ankomo ni beda honom. All right. Yen twaso na yen hwe normal ketenkete bi a metimi agada meka ho ase ebia won so ne wonim no manka na so de betudwa enyina yesua de na enyina ye book metum kakra bi ana medi ho nkomo onso betime de wode e aba na ya hwe hawa esi etie. Now yen hwe article 71 no. Article 71 ye wo clause 1 clause 2. Na clause 1 no ene clause 2 no nyina no yebeka ne nyina ho asem. Ahaya nso ana ema omampanyini tumi a otimi ede hyehye the salaries, allowances and privileges of the Speaker of Parliament, the deputies, and all the members of Parliament, MPs, into you Speaker, and the deputies, and MPs now. So Article 71, clause 1, and the moment penny, quine, and more the shisha omo. Me fan is almost service benefit. I mean, can I say almost salaries, allowances, and a privileges, benefit baby. On a man penny quine, a man no san shisha no. Intino the Speaker, deputies, member of Parliament, the Chief Justice, the Auditor General, for Omo Chairman, Sraj, Chairman, any Common Fund Administrator and Bobo, no, Omo Nina Shaho, any Omo Vice Chairman, name Crofuni Sani Pekuni Ninano, Omampeni Eshe, Itusana Mono, Emma Mo Onum, National Commission for Civic Education, San Crofuni Nina, the Lands Commission, National Media Commission, all those commission in Nano. Omampeni Neshe Omo etutu omo shisha omo bibia o salary say ni into Omampeni sa article 71 and na oba 72 ne so a na abo adane oho na abo adane ne sa no into article 72 na na in reverse eno na empower Parliament. Yes, Parliament under article 71 clause 2 no ohonom na ema Parliament so determine salaries and allowances of the President, the Vice President, the Chairman and other members of the Council of State, Ministers of State and Deputy Ministers. And in one who say I say no debia no e de nsemi ba madodo na ataka say you scratch my back I scratch your back. Nti no ya wota ate so mota akasa say enu nti na bibia be parliament e fesi kasem ho bia no and the obon say opposition party and the incumbent party ni nyina no omu nyina obi ankasa ho unhu se no nko ade ye ku table ho ye ku microphone ho ye ku gidigidi da bi wonti bi da say ye kasi kasem asem hyehye wo honom ada ne ntokwa because o man panyini anye MPs speaker and the deputies wanye omo hyehye ye awo mu sikasem a ono so ne de ba na duru no omo honom a omo so be ne troka nti no mu nyina no obia ma obia feel good menye sure say ha de anhwa asesa be ba ya na eti akire no ana do de bia ye wo sa eye complaints no but enye bad so man panyini obe feel good I also feel good because omo feel good ana be mo adwen foforo bi say yenfa kwati kwan bi so na yenfa ndidi because unya position that ana sometimes we can say yankopon de odru pempenso bi a na odru some leadership status bi na say position bi a odofo ana pressure na eba oso ne so trust me you press ovin crowd for abusuya crowd dem yankopon pejawo ekodru pempenso bi a hwe nipadom ani ene yomo hawa esan ohun say ana nya say abusuya ne ha adweno because obi atu nani a wani ma na eto enti no say eba ne sa na pressure more ene eba wo so ti say wunyina yi a wanhwe ya obefa kweti kwan bi so dia pesika bibiri because pressure na eba na no ohye onso ntimi ma ho nkyerɛw ana komode onso a ade mpempem ntini abre bia no obon se wonso wani abre pe baabi a obetimi anya sika na oye nti so no public office na ohwe na se aho kyerɛ ba obepa kweti kwan bi so ana ma corruption no edo no enti mimpo de ho de me nhye da ni problem so mu nyina feel good a bo mu feel good no o ma ne nsa ne mra fom because we are ye kan teacher for ni bi nhye ho nurses for nhye doctors nka ho omo so ye abanwuma kakra ya abrebia no mo strike omo nka ho bi enti no mo de omo downtown omo feel but eba teacher for especially eba be essa profession no say organa na nkasa de we teacher ni kra na ye nheda emfa onye hwe se wantimi am progress am mama ye lecturer wo university na wo primary JHS ne SS wo for no krampo no mu hu no so ade mo wo tertiary level no omuna omutimi krampo no omutimi ton handout print handout ton eno kra na mo nya sika kakra. Okay, my ento aso constitution de ne wonso ha wo ho no make us say now so do de tudwa we de me bo general one na what you say enti no article 71 no clause 1 71 clause 1 clause 2 ni nyina no ema omuhu sa se yencheni no eba honom because oboa ma mampanyi ene ne de friends ne vice ne na pamfo no ye kama na wonso de speaker of parliament ne wonso o MPs ne o deputies ne nkrofo no so o ma hwa ma mo so de ay kama na je se we nyina enamu ne ekoyenim. In fact now enema bi nso a anase nsem bi nso a dodo na nso eta aka ho asem na me san be boboso yi dodo na nso ta aka se emra a constitution ni ma emaso mampanyi bi betena so a ofura ban mu a just 10 good years ansana obetimi a prosecute no for boni bi odi ya watimi aye no sa no mani nyina no dodo na ebusa se ensachare enfamrem biom S gracia OMP enyo monko article 71 for ni nyina S gracia no mo enjoy article 71 for ni nyina enti no sɛ wo be serve 4 years bia na waje ne bam enye sika ketwa because at then time scra na ye check ye no na ye 600,000 Ghana cedis na ye 6 billion asat na de minim enti sɛ sika we every 4 years bia na ye de ama nipa baako 4 years ne nso so a oba so ye mpia ye ma ne cars mienu na ya sama ne loan amane loan so mfa nkoto ka ba konsa mfa nka ho na sa cars mienu ye de ma no ye mfa nche no odofo ye mfa nche no na emom no se obekwa a etimi ohye cars no ono a etimi tender in na wato cars no fofofo na okọ obu ompe no agya ho na okọ sa no man keten na ekọ so downtown ho no eno na Ghana for do na adi amani edi akire ba me chama ya meti ha ide so mu won hihye bi ombeye e de afa constitution no a ebeboa yi pa uma no em benefit eye timamufo no mo now ekwan ya ye fa so de contract Emma contractors. Yetimi de contract, ya award the contract, edi manipa, ono kra no ni adwuma no hwe. Mame samra fom biem. Me ye party ba, enti yetimi de contract mame, se me menye Accra to Kumasi road. Aso menye contractor. Na me makwa akope contractor obetimi aye ebi Akufi Job imagine 1 million sa me fan koye me de koye kwan no na ma ba be ma ko eye Akufi Job 50,000 and I'm fan say 500,000 yes some achieve 500,000 me da be ma Akufi Job so mfa ma yes akwan no tisika anke wo se ye de ye kwan no nyina de free Accra e de ba Kumasi ye be ma ekwan na ye quality na last for e be ye 50 years 40 years no na ma ba abeti sika no so percentage mate na me de akoma Akufi Job no no so sika kro nya ya no atototo inferior materials bi ano de ya ni kakra na kwan na de be 2 years na say me ka say platform yi so mpanifo ni bi ta aka say decentralization no ehia ka district bia municipal assembly bia eye metropolitan eye assembly bia no oma nkasa enjiju mu sika mfa mo ho bra enye se bibia eje ya na de central government bibia eje ya na de soro ko ma be hu bi edemani gani abehu bi abehu se oba yi bibia omo se council tax e de eye das me abesisi wonom omo ba peke omo de ko omo tua ma omo ntia se obia jejeje ne de e de bo ne ho bra yanso e de o jeje kura na ne de nyina akwa Accra nti aden o de dey no obohu se ye hia bibia je se san de kwa Accra long process anonye eka ho ika se mre bi contractor bi ba eye ejoso dwaben side honom ebe ye adwuma na oye ekwan bi fa efigya so ode mane ade kokoro bi so ema mekai busa DC no sa kwan no asema o se onim po se ye kwan bi o sa stretch no so DC no wo honom no o so onim se ye kwan bi wo honom enti ono no ete ye no okọ ye no ana contractor no e ka te ne se onti mebusa no hwe because contract na de man free Accra ana oye nti ohia bibia onkonkran na we ye de chichiri kuro say contract a ye de aba o district kra onya awe all this onya awe na how possible because obi age contract na ote Accra ana oba abeye nti ono no oba wapɛ ne contractor na ɔde ne ba ana mo ba abeye omu hia wo approve bi abiem omu hia hwe mfiri ho nti ebeba ne sen na district no amonitor sa adwumade we no ma ensure say mpo no omu ye ade a wo so omu ye no ma me ye sure the work bi anya wa nko because omu hu ne say obi agi sika no edi ya constitution ne de obi a woni ha wa ewum onso betime de o ha wo no e de aba very 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 important because nkomo a ye di nkomo a very very important na de so mampanyin John Drama Mahama akofa e de aba nani abre se omuntu hu anamo na omu ema no enye omu mane mra na ankoye se da bia se de no omu ya ani ate committee na ye na meka bibi se meba eye ba ko bi so abra omampanyi na ado danko Akufo-Addo omampanyi dada na ado Akufo-Addo amemfa dada na nka ho na se de sa na akwakoye na omampanyi na ado Akufo-Addo tama anane time no mobeka ya ote committee bi se ya sanka omunya amendment ewo eye district chief executives kind of simple MMDCs no metropolitan municipal district chief executives yenye omuho amendment kakra ewo constitution nim said the beya omuni ebeto omuso aba from the district level and municipal level honom no yebeto omuso aba to say the two MPs ene eye president ne so aba no omutu hu anamo bia bi enso omo the partisan politics by partisan no masa na omo botugu ye enti DC no oba onum say ya appoint no aba ye nto ne so aba nti obehye district wonum a na odi nsenhunu a nti na omo kra ya ntambo omo din no so master dia omo ye bo omo din no aya ntambo DCs ni din MC for ne ye mo omo din ana bibia omampanyini enso na ehye ne district no kra na ohye honum a district assembly common fund no kra no wajet atena so honum ba no afa ne ho adi enti migidi se mpanifo bebo adwumason amana boa oman no because constitution ne de sacha bebre honum a eba ebetimi aboa na ama oman Ghana enso atimi afa ne ntomapa efra bi na I hope say ombeye said o masha ase ntemu ide I hope so ombeye because me hwe kra na 1992 na ye April mo ho April 1992 nti say April 1992 kra na ana na say April we na yenya 33 years this April na yenya 33 good years 33 good years nti no ye nsachira o ma enye bad ebetimi aboa amanoma akọ nanim yes ebetimi aboa amanoma akọ nanim all right nti we eye for eye constitution no na yenye fast na yenhwe ɛyɛ Krofro market yi ho nkɔmmɔ kakra bi na memfa dwumadie no nsi. Yes. Enti we yɛ Krofro market. Mfonyin a etwa gu a me kasa nyina na yɛ Krofro market. Na saa market we ɛyɛ market bi a nyame no nokure ni. Yɛ tu ho na mo akyɛ ye ɔmampanya da John Ajekunku for time. Ana ɔmo yɛ ɔmo adwene so mbesi. Ana de kokwasa saa besi ne stella no yentimi enwie ye. Ɛno ana ne ye ba behwe hawa ɛno nso ɛno ma akoduru. Ebe maamo fila bi, ebe maamo hint bi se ye ba bedwiri e de ato agu. Mbeka ya ma mokae ne de minim se mokae. Se de skeleton we esisi ho nyina no ayemre nsu anom na ama ne mfi nyina hodwo ene su osa no. Enti se ya nhwe ye na omo sa besisi bi to so a anhwe ana abedwiri ato agu. Enti no mpanimfo ye omo adwen so mo ba bedwiri ni nyina ato agu baabi. Omo mpe asem bia na ukọ na ahwe structures esisi opa na ahwe ho kapa ya ye sa project we se bedwiri ato agu a na eburu adwen ne nti ase so. Ano ene ebetena ha di ho nkọmọ kekan bia Ashanti Regional Minister ya oba fufuru yi ene hihye bi ne ayi bi a omode egu akwa mu no kire se saa dwira ebedwira ato agu no se ebenya second thought. Ombehwe mu biem ombedwene ho biem omo ba behwe if really e was say yetimi edwiri tugu ana se ebetima ye ho bibia. Enti no na was say me mama so esate said the meka that day no ne e wo form na ya boss no the problem bi ani ho na skeleton na etwa ho ahia no we ni de bibia ni ho ye mfa ye nsa nka na sa skeletons we mu na meka no we mu ne apoto bibiri afa no saa no ai so saa ne ehu rough ehu pa na ba bia du no de na nka kakakra bi ne awie ene se mpanifo ntimi amfa ose anyoyo ema ne koba ne saa. Enti ne se da bia meka se new regional minister we say me feeling no in a way minim ne ba bia ba me feeling in a way me hwe hawa ye on share da kran share office bia se adwuma saa gidigidi ba hwa ne nkomo odididi ba na otumo se no mabekoyi otumi so a man of action otumi so oba be ya ade na mana yeyi. Enti nse ye hwe na ya monitor ne keenly say ya na ebeboa ana trust you me ohwe program no. Yes, ohwe COVTVGHANA program yi pa ono oti social media 247 or a social media minister. The program we so over social media and kwa be program we because almost 5,000 videos spreading across where they are behwe. I just say asantema na wakoma so you can see it and ignore it but untimi kan kire me say wonhu ye wahu empanifo suggest adwen papa bebre ewo so solutions bebre to such problems nyina no because you kukudam our platform so your engineers I can see our platform so ye nkrofo a empanifo mo experience mo kasa ma hu say yes esisi asem so. Enti no let's hope say omo nwurenwu no ma nwurenwu anka be me de nti say ya pe eye new consultant ene aye architect ne eye building engineers a omo ba behwe na omo atimi ede new report aba say still na wo so mudwurugu dia ene for the safety of eye Ghana fonti na wo so mudwurugu but e bomb paye ama amomu nyuringu odo omu nye ni bibi there's something on betimi aye aba omu nye ni bibi say that we cry need 20 years until the enfane say inso na nonom na fine but it need 20 years until still no I just of course omu amfa cement and kum omu ye no ngwona eno sa de bia bibia ni ho but I hope say on betimi abonada ne ama bibia aye kama anka ebe manage pa say ebedru say ya ambubu na emom no oma aye no eye pachi bi about the support bi ene pillars do bi no mbe ye kra de aka ho a na anka me ho say oh oma ye more pillars e de aka ho ha na anka me ho sa okay ene say na tie ama ho say ene anka eno ano no na anka e kama yes good enti sana etie enso ewa ase enti abusuafo I think say ene how do you call it ene Sunday enti we dey me deba e betwa mu ye besan aba bedin komo foforo ye besan ba bedin komo foforo enti sana etie je say mesra mo say ye san wo TikTok enti no mo beta share videos ni bi wo TikTok COVTVGHANA ya na obehu COVTVGHANA wo TikTok enti no ohu a na watimi a follow sada bi the video bi ato ho nso a obenya bi no ahwe ye san wo Facebook enso sa e say no e pese ma informations ni nyina information no ekwa akire e ma information no ekwa akire sada be ya ebeso Ghana fo nyina so ana mo hwe adwumade na asese ye fa bibia o man ho asem bia ye befa enti omo political issues na e be discuss in a more professional way enti no asem bia policies bia nhihye bia ye bete se o matu ana mo bia rabetu dwa ye wa adwenkyere ho ane akere onimu so ana ma wa ya we enti this time around no obehu sa nsesan no bibiri ana se so mo bai project bia no a o ma sha ase enti mo policies no mo de ba na ye capture ni nyina de abegu mframem na ye de amako mu nkakra no mo de akọ omanim na I strongly believe say enoma akese ana ebekoso a ebeboa enti na nye bad odofo nye bad yenhwe na yemfa enyina ye support enta omachi said ye ma na naroda nkwa akufu ado no yenyema omampanyi Mahama nso na yenhwe how a oman ne bekwa koduru because ye kan say eyezuo say kokrudu say den enyina ye Ghana for mu bia ni ho a betimi age oman na si wo si yenyina ya nkan ye ho amoma enti no obi ka eyezu kra na otimi ka say kokrudu na wo de ehia no na oka say kokrudu a wo say eyezu na yenyina na ya blending it together na chese ye de oman no ekọ one direction yentna ho ma partisan politics metete yentem dabi ti ye kasa as Ghanaians me ka se mere bi ye video bi opanyimi ba e kire ebe fire me enya easy eni be ye ko e wo se kasa omampanyini we na sha ase no odi dru say ansa na we beto aso mo ye program na mo nka ne sa mo nka ne ye hu se nipa no ye se nam so panyi no kura said the okana ba me maybe a wodi efri ba because of say ye sha say ka say oh ye sha say free o man panyin we time and e be wie any time say no ya mo na ba so ti opanyin adwa but I think say aya mo nya ye ho abotre santa mo the pressure ba ye so a aya na me dwuno ma me mentiase but I was say motiase say ye no ya fa no Ghana as a whole enye say ona because ne obey na nya ne sika ayoman ne sika nti ye de ana ye hwe from that angle but nipa ya ade nso a osayi nipa ya ade osayi nti no de sa na tie all right timpani4 me de mo besi ase ye besen de ahiemu enche they say de meba online rough me nyata information bia meba na ye de hon komo me ne mo anete ase nti no ye nhye ne so pa e wo saa kwa ne so mudim besi ase na ye besen di ehia mu makrama. Bye bye.
Welcome to my 5 hotel. We are based in Kronoma Franchu. If you want to come here and you are from Swami Kronom, come in. We have nice security posts, a very, very conducive environment that you feel free, comfortable. Everything here is very, very conducive, nicely. The air, the atmosphere, best. We have the bar, we have the restaurant, the pergola, everything here is nice. We have the standby the generator. We have a vehicle that picks up from the airport. Everything is here is very good, nicely. We have the reception that works 24 hours. Everything is here 24 hours, perfectly.
Yes, Simon Mwakwa Basonko de ba COVTVGHANA so. Wo COVTVGHANA so no. Ye bota ye ni yenju mediate tiripa ne se. Ye beboa ma mpuntu nyuma akwaso ye wano wo Ghana ha se. Ne se nti no. Ye free wo pepa mutu ye hugu montene so kokotwa mpuntu nyuma ahodo a. Ye kwaso wo Ghana ha bebia. Se ye akwan foforo na aban no ye. Hospitals, airport, interchange, school, market, stadium ne ni ai keka ho nyina. Ye ni yenti mwanwaso wo kokotwa se ne dwumade ni sifa ko. Na afei so akwan ne mia odo a atete apansam so no ye kotwa se ne ebe ya ebetwe aban no agenesi so na wakwakwa ye wonom e wo hɔ ne nso mmoa dwumadie foforo a ye sign di no wo COVTVGHANA so ne say ye interview Ghana fo e wa abrochi ananse wo man yi mu a watumi adi yi atu mpon wa abrabo na watumi akyerɛkyerɛ ye nkwampa hodo a ye nso ye betumi afaso anya sika ne de ahya business ase enti mema wo rain fi say wo be subscribe to ye YouTube channel e ye COVTVGHANA na wemia notification bell ne so se ne ebe ya wo messy yen videos a ye dropping ni mu ba ko kra.